Winston, the mission in Gothenburg was a success. Null Sector forces in the region have been dealt a significant blow.
That's excellent news! But Null Sector won't be taken down so easily. This war is just getting started. Maybe I should put another pot on. A device that only targets Omnics. How cruel. I should send Brigitte a thank you note.
You should mind your caffeine intake, Winston.
I'm too big for a little coffee to get to me.
My records indicate lower sleep quality, directly correlated to your caffeine consumption.
Oh, I guess I could switch to half-calf. I can't understand what would drive Null Sector to use this.
Did you know that Gothenburg's trams were the first to use magnetic levitation?
How interesting. What a revolutionary development.
Winston.
What? They really reinvented the wheel. If we want to save the world, I'll need a bigger mug. Transportation has come a long way. This reminds me of my old spaceship toy.
Do you have many items from your childhood?
No. I had to leave most things behind.
Perhaps you can start a new collection.
It's not clutter. It's a souvenir.
Should I reopen Torbjorn's file?
Wouldn't that be presumptuous?
It would be responsible to review his tenure as an agent in the event that he returns.
That's a good point. I wonder if Ingrid's pie recipes are in there. Choo-choo! Ha ha ha! Delightful! Athena, where did you get this coffee?
The coffee is sourced from a chain in Toronto. Tom Beanson's.
Oh, I wonder if Vivian likes their coffee.
My records indicate that Sojourn has a preference for local cafes.
Next time, I'm going to add some maple syrup. Athena, place an order for more creamer.
Caramel or mocha flavor.
Surprise me. Tom Beanson's isn't so bad. I hope we find a way to save these Omnics. A device that only targets Omnics. How cruel. We're more than halfway there. We were quite a team.
Do you not believe our new agents will perform as effectively in the field?
No, of course not. Just reminiscing. It's nice to have a team again. Do you think they remember us as heroes?
Overwatch saved the world, Winston. Your actions have not been forgotten.
You're right. And it's time to do it again. I should make another copy of this.
Subject, email, critical, timeline, from Athena, submitted by Athena. An analysis of historical events with actual and potential ties to the resurgence of the Omnic terrorist group Null Sector. 28 years ago, the rogue god program Anubis seizes control of Omnics, robots created to serve humankind, and attacks every nation in the world. This event becomes known as the Omnic Crisis. 26 years ago, all Omnic experience the Awakening, a mass sentience event. This frees them from Anubis's control, effectively ending the Omnic Crisis. 13 years ago, Overwatch intelligence operatives learn of Null Sector for the first time via recruitment propaganda throughout Europe. 10 years ago, Null Sector stages an uprising in the King's Row neighborhood in London using an army of non-sentient robotic combat units. Overwatch is dispatched to deal with the threat. Only one Null Sector extremist, still unidentified, is killed. Takarta Mandata, an Omnic leader of the Shambali monastery, publicly denounces the attack. Speculation. After examining the drones deactivated in the attack on London, Overwatch engineers report that the combat units were A. older models and B. likely created by the god program Anubis during the Omnic crisis. 8 years ago. After 2 years, the Overwatch intelligence team dedicated to Null Sector concludes that while the organization inspired countless other urgencies and acts of violence, Null Sector itself might have died with the lone Omnic in King's Row. Already under intense pressure to reduce operational overreach, Overwatch reallocates all members of the intelligence team to other tasks. 7 years ago. The United Nations officially disbands Overwatch. All agents either resign or get discharged, and are warned against unauthorized vigilante activity. Present day. Null Sector resurfaces, attacking first Paris, and then the rest of the world. Voicemail. Lúcio Correa dos Santos. Subject. Voicemail. Lúcio Correa dos Santos.
Hello? This is Lúcio, the DJ, and I am really hoping this number works. I saw footage of Overwatch in Paris, and now, well, Rio needs your help too. We're getting rocked by a Null Sector carrier. Already got as many people as we could to safety, and the rest of us are fighting back. But, look, we can't hold out much longer. I know we've never met, but I've been a big fan of Overwatch since I was a kid. I seen the good you could do. If anyone can save this city, I know it's your team. You might not even get this, but if you can make it to Rio, we sure could use you. And hey, welcome back.
Voicemail. UN Secretary General Osei.
Winston, this is Osei. What are you doing? Any Overwatch activity is unsanctioned. You are breaking multiple international laws, and the consequences will be severe. And I can't... I know things are bad. Numbani, Busan, Toronto, the whole world is on fire. But you can't just go gallivanting on your own with your buddies. This is your last warning from the United Nations. Do not make an enemy out of me.
Chat log. Late night. Lena, are you awake? No. I must confess to some slight nervousness. Winston, you must let me sleep. Okay, what's wrong? I sent the recall. That means, for better or worse, what happens next is my responsibility, and I'm scared. Lena? Sorry, I fell asleep again. Anyway, it's like Emily says. Do the right thing as hard as you can, apologize later. That is lovely. I'm lucky to know you both. Yep, okay, good night, Winston. Good night, Lena. Chat log. Null Sector analysis. Hello, Winston. I'm noticing something interesting about the Null Sector attacks so far. None of the attackers are Omnics. They are all robots, built fairly recently. And of course, unlike Omnics, they have no will or mind of their own. When Null Sector attacked London, they were using old warbots from the crisis. They must have found a way to mass-produce new units like the ones we fought in Paris. Echo, it is so wonderful to have fresh perspectives analyzing this data. I'm glad to be here too, Winston. Email, thank you, from Lucio's dad. From Benicio Correa dos Santos to Winston. Hola, Overwatch. I do not have enough thanks to give you for helping our city alongside my son. As Lúcio might tell you, we have been fighting our own battles for some time, pushing back against the corporations who wish to control us. But my son will not be silent, nor will anyone he has inspired. He has given so much to keep hope alive in Rio. When Null Sector ships filled our skies, I feared he would give his life. Then you arrived and fought at his side. What a dream it must have been for my son, who once had Overwatch posters on his walls, and all the action figures. Lúcio understands more than anyone how it feels to fight for what's right, only to have the law label you a criminal. The world is long overdue for a new perspective, one I hope my son can help you achieve. It warms my heart to see he has found the friends he deserves. Please take care of my son. Make sure he knows his pai is rooting for him. Thank you, Overwatch. Benicio. Voicemail, Tremblay. Agent Noah Tremblay.
This is Agent Tremblay. CSIS. I hope this line still works. The invasion you stopped in Paris is still ongoing around the globe. And right now, Toronto needs your help. We've been under attack for days with no sign of it letting up. We just don't have the numbers to keep people safe. We've also received reports that an ex-Overwatch agent may be active in the city, fighting back against Null Sector. I won't speak for them, but I think they'd appreciate backup. Please, hurry. We're counting on you.
Chat log, new recruits. Hello, everyone. Since you are all new to the base, I wanted to reach out and let you know that I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Feel free to come to Athena or me whenever you need help. And again, welcome to the team. Where is the gym? Where's the game room? Zarya, the gymnasium is located in Bay 04. I'll have Athena load directions onto your device. Diva, we don't have a game room. Sorry. Wow! Diva has left the chat. We'll let you know if I need anything. Cool place. Yeah, the base is awesome, Winston. Looking forward to hanging around with you, my man. Glad to have you all. Let's make the world a better place together. Okay. Email. Attention, Winston. Task list. Winston, thanks for getting my accommodations set up. It's been a long time since I've been here. Part of me thinks it hasn't been long enough, honestly. If we're looking to take down Null Sector for good, we're going to need intel. Our task list. Read through old reports/files on NS. I'll take report 0001 through 0816. You take the rest. Annotate with new intel collected from this week's engagements. Let's see if the Omnic on the airwaves has ever been spotted before. Have Athena compile reports from all major invasions the past week. Let's get a read on any new tactics NS is employing. I keep thinking about that subjugator ambush on the platform. In the old days, we would have been the first to know about those damn things. We'd have had specs, weak spots, the works. Winston, we have to remember, this isn't the old days. We don't have handlers watching our backs from orbit anymore. When boots hit the ground, all we've got is on our backs and in our heads. Let's do our homework and keep everybody safe. Oh, and do me a favor? Make sure the kitchen's stocked with coffee. The good stuff. I don't run on instant. V. Email. Hang in there. To Vivian Chase. Need to keep this short because we think NS is scanning outgoing data. I keep thinking about everything you did to protect us. Protect me. For what it's worth, I'm sorry about the handcuff thing. Glad to hear you're back with old friends. A few of us are staying behind in T, moving Omnics to safe places, keeping them away from NS until we can help them. Take care of yourself. I owe you a coffee and a croissant. NT. Noah Tremblay. Voicemail. Reggie Buckworth.
Hello, it's Reggie. You remember me, right? The attorney in Toronto? Yeah, you remember me. Sorry I missed you. I guess you're busy saving the world or something. Yeah, anyway, I wanted to drop you a line and make sure you had my number. I'm betting you're gonna find a way to help all those Omnics with machines on their brains, and when you do, can you do me a favor? Just give me my number, because you will not believe the class action lawsuit I'm working on. Yeah, anyway, I gotta go. Oh, jeez, I didn't give you my number. Hold on, it's a...
Chat log. Departure to Gothenburg. Hi, you two. Hey, what's up? Hello. Just letting you know that the dropship's ready for the flight to Gothenburg. Have a safe trip. Thank you, Winston. I just wish we were visiting Papa under better circumstances. Have no fear. Torbjorn will fix the Omnic with no problems. Mama said she's going to make canalbular for us. I'll make sure to bring some back for you. Canalbular! Email. Your order has been received. To S. Paceape. Dear Mr. Paceape, We know there are many bedding companies to choose from. Thank you for supporting small businesses. Your items will arrive shortly. 1 Sleepy Weather Comforter. 1 Ace Pilot Comforter. We hope your children enjoy them. Sincerely, your friends at Blanky Co. Chat log. Null Sector's motives. I think I've got something on the Omnic you brought me. Torbjorn, I'm so glad to hear from you again. It's been a long time. I've missed our talks. I don't think the helmet is... Hello, Winston. Anyway, I don't think the helmet is hurting this Omnic. No fluctuations in his pain simulation cortex. The helmet has his intelligence core in a reset loop, but that's it. Then there's the Titan that tracked us right to my workshop. You know what that means? Fascinating and troubling. I hope you're taking precautions. Of course. We've all moved to somewhere a lot more secure. Torbjorn, I just don't understand why Null Sector is doing this to Omnics. Can't answer to that. All we know for now is that they aren't suffering. They're just dormant. We'll be in touch when I know more. Looking forward to it. Intel database. Going from left to right. Diva. Diva, bio. Full name, Hannah Song. Citizenship, South Korea. Affiliations, Mecha, Mobile Exoforce of the Korean Army. Hannah Song, known as her screen name Diva, was a professional gamer. She was recruited by South Korea's military, who developed a mechanized armored drone unit called Mecha to protect the country against the waves of emerging robots from the East China Sea. Nicknamed Guishin, they would attack, learn, and reconfigure their forms and weapons each time. Latest research shows that the Guishin, encrypted, Diva became Mecha's top pilot, even once single-handedly defeating a Guishin assault. There are unconfirmed reports that Diva is, encrypted, 11:42 p.m. Login Athena. Add new in Diva. Diva obtained a special dispensation from the Mecha commander and was recruited by Cole Cassidy. Diva Journal, Post Toronto. Translated from Korean. Hey Hana. Hope I'm not bothering you. Just wanted to make sure you're okay. Oh, this is Daehun, by the way. Hi! Also, I know who it is. Your username is your name. Zzz. I'm great. I just got back from Toronto. Yeah, I saw you on the news. The anchor said you're doing illegal operations with Overwatch. Zzz. Ha ha ha, that's us. You kicked butt, though, illegal or not. Aw, thank you, Daehun. Oh, that reminds me. Present for you. No way. Did you get me some authentic Canadian maple syrup? No, better. File transfer initiated. Toki combat log, Toronto, Null Sector invasion. Got my combat log from the NS flight. Winky face. Oh, okay. I'm compiling all the info I can on battle tactics, etc. Will be good to have for use against NS in Korea and maybe even Guishin. Make sure you share that with the rest of the team also. Yeah, I can do that. This is all great stuff, Hana. Just make sure you're not wearing yourself down too much, okay? You're already doing plenty. Yeah, for sure. That's why I'm bothering you with this. Okay. Well, I'm always here if you need me. Thank you, Daehun. Okay, gotta run, but bye. Miss you. See you soon. And if you eat all my snacks before I'm back, I'm gonna be mad. Haha, don't worry, I'll buy more. Talk soon, okay? Got it! Reinhardt. Bio. Full name, Reinhardt Wilhelm. Citizenship, Germany. Affiliation, the Crusaders, Overwatch. Reinhardt Wilhelm was a member of the armored German combat unit known as the Crusaders and recruited for Overwatch's first strike team after the Battle of Eichenwald. His efforts helped end the Omnic crisis, and he was involved in countless missions, including Operation White Dome, Uprising, and encrypted. Due to his encrypted, and he withdrew from all Overwatch activities. 4:20 a.m. Login Athena. Add new in Reinhardt. After his leave from Overwatch, he has been protecting people all over the world alongside Brigitte Lindholm, his squire and mentee. 7:45 p.m. Login Athena. Add new in Reinhardt. He answered Winston's recall and helped neutralize Null Sector's invasion of Paris. Reinhardt Journal, post Rio. The team is coming together. In Rio, we recruited a very promising young agent named Lúcio, and Cassidy is back, having... Hold on, I need to start over. Reinhardt, he speaks like this! The team is coming together. In Rio, we recruited a very promising young agent named Lúcio, and Cassidy is back, having brought several impressive warriors with him, including Anna's daughter Fariha, a Russian powerlifter, a man with moon shoes, and that mecha pilot who is famous for fighting the Guishin. It is clear that these youngsters look up to me. I don't blame them. I have fought in so many battles over the years, I can hardly remember them all. But if I pass along one thing, I hope it will be to trust themselves. They are the future, and I am just an old man, albeit one who is still very strong and handsome. Anyway, I expect the rest of the battles to go similarly to Rio. We will defeat Null Sector in no time, as we did in London. And soon a new Overwatch will take shape, and this one will be even better than the old one. We are building this new Overwatch with 3 very important things: bravery, wisdom, and friendship. Signed, Reinhardt Wilhelm. Reinhardt Journal, post Toronto. Things are much worse than I thought. Null Sector is putting helmets on Omnics, and these helmets cannot be taken off even if you are very strong. I tried. Whoever is behind this is truly evil and must be stopped. It is good that we reached Vivian when we did. She was in the middle of the city fighting on her own, as if looking to make a foolish sacrifice. It is worrisome. This sort of behavior is not like her. I wonder if the past few years have been as difficult for her as they have been for me. I think people like us need a purpose or we start to go a little verrückt. Anyway, she is on the team now, and I am off to Gothenburg to visit my old friend Torbjorn. If anyone can unpuzzle these helmets, it is him, as much as I hate to admit it. His head has only grown larger as he ages. Unlike me, I have discovered the value of humility. Once he has devised a means of removing these helmets to save the Omnics within, I am certain that Torbjorn will rejoin Overwatch and help us train the next generation of heroes. To those who say there is no hope, doch, there is always hope. We will stop Null Sector and save the world, like we always do. Happily reunited with several old friends, Reinhardt Wilhelm. Reinhardt Journal, post Gothenburg. It was good to see Torbjorn again. He is as short and temperamental as ever, and has been keeping busy building all manner of wild contraptions, some of which even came in handy on this mission, though it pains me to admit it. However, though we saved Gothenburg, there is sad news as well. Torbjorn declined to rejoin Overwatch. At first I was disappointed, but I shouldn't have been surprised. He has so much going on with those wonderful grandchildren. Speaking of Torbjorn's vastly more talented offspring, I have received Manta's latest, Dawn of the Empire of Dawnfire. I am on chapter 3 already. If you've read that far, can you believe that Dirk Bloodtithe forsook his vampire powers to save Annabelle from the Mermaid Coven? Because I certainly cannot. So Torbjorn will not be joining us. I am focusing on the positives. It is time for a new generation of Overwatch heroes. And anyway, there is plenty of wisdom on the team between Sojourn and Angela and... I almost said Cassidy. Haha. And of course myself as well. We will teach these youngsters what ist was, and save the world in the process. Yours most determinedly, Reinhardt Wilhelm. Winston. Bio. Full name, Winston. Citizenship, not available. Affiliations, Overwatch. Winston was a test animal as a child for the gene therapy experiments on Horizon Lunar Colony, funded and established by Lusheng Interstellar and Encrypted. He showed rapid brain development and caught the attention of Dr. Harold Winston, who taught him science and engineering. Horizon Lunar Colony was attacked by an animal uprising, and he escaped via a pod heading to Earth. Once he landed, he joined Overwatch and became an invaluable asset. His notable inventions include the Encrypted and the Chronal Accelerator, used by Overwatch pilot and long-term friend Tracer. 7:57 p.m. Login Athena. Add new in Winston. Following an infiltration attack from Talon on the abandoned Gibraltar base, Winston initiated the recall of Overwatch in defiance of both national and international laws. 8:48 p.m. Login Athena. Add new in Winston. After facing Null Sector in Paris, Winston informed authorities that Overwatch had returned to active status. Winston Journal, post Rio. Welcome to Ivory Tower Chat. Follow the rules or get banned. I'm talking to you, Danger Cat. Harold 20XX. Greetings, everyone. I won't insult you by introducing myself, but I could use your help. Claudius Thel. Claudius III. I like this one already. We will reciprocate by not asking Overwatch questions. Danger Cat. I make no such promises. Claudius III. We will reciprocate by asking very few Overwatch questions. Danger Cat. Is it true that you work directly with Athena? Winston. Yes, she is not happy I am here, but my friends and I need to see problems as they arise, and not through the evening news. When I received Harold 20X's offer, it seemed like just the thing we needed to stay informed. Harold 20XX. Well, the satellite network belonged to Overwatch originally. It's not theft if you borrow it back. Winston. My thinking exactly. Pleasure to finally meet you, Harold 20XX. Danger Cat. Wait. Athena doesn't like us? Claudius III. I barely like you and we're married. Danger Cat. Rude. Winston. Athena doesn't believe that white hat hackers exist. Harold 20XX. She sounds fun. Winston, I'm opening a private chat for us. Should have news for you in a few hours. Talk soon. Danger Cat. No, don't go. Just kidding, see you. Winston has left the chat. Winston Journal, post Toronto. Welcome to Ivory Tower Chat, private room, encryption active. Harold 20XX. So I've got something, sending you a drone video link. Interesting scan protocol you got there. Hi, Athena. Can't stay long. My grandson's waiting for help with his schoolwork. Can't believe the world's under attack and he's still doing math. What a nerd. Winston. Smiley face. I followed the link. Is this an old satellite? Harold. That's right. UN, officially decommissioned, used as a relay for Overwatch in the old days. Still attached to the larger network, but missing a power source. Guess what my drone has? Amazing! When can we start? Already done. Told you, the kid's waiting. Sending you a login. Make sure you change the password. My goodness, I can see live footage from all over the world. Harold, I don't know how to thank you. Hey, hold on. This is just the first step. That connection isn't stable enough for long-term use. If you rely on this for your missions, they could go down at a bad time and get people killed. Alright, off to do battle with some radical equations. I'll be back. Looking forward to it. Harold has left the chat. Zarya. Bio. Full name? Alexandra Zaryanova. Citizenship, Russia. Affiliation? Russian Defense Forces, Volskaya Industries. Alexandra grew up in Siberia, a region rife with conflict from the Omnic crisis. She became a weightlifter and was identified by the National Athletics Program to be the country's next weightlifting star. She abandoned the championships to enlist in the military when her village came under attack. She became a sergeant in the Russian Defense Forces and a celebrated soldier. She briefly worked with Volskaya Industries to encrypted. 1:24 p.m. Login Athena. Add new in Zarya. She was last observed to be fighting Null Sector in the Siberian front and then recruited by Cole Cassidy. 11:51 p.m. Login Athena. Add new in Zarya. Zarya was seen with Cassidy, Baptiste, and Farah in Busan, South Korea, assisting the Mecha Squad. Zarya Journal, post Toronto. Begin voice memo transcription. I have followed the guerrilla's instructions and located the gym. Previous user left weights in disarray. Equipment is passable. Reminder to suggest improvements to Athena. Resuming log. Stretch routine complete. 10 minutes, 14 seconds. This is not the Overwatch I expected. I thought there would be more luxuries and waste. Whatever we grew up hating is long gone. Feels like standing on the grave of your rival. Pleasant but also a little sad. Warm-up. 400 push-ups. Cole Cassidy exited locker room and shouted at me between 83 and 148. I did not make eye contact, but he continued his speech. Confirms they do not teach nonverbal cues in America. Resuming workout. Stretch time approx 5 minutes. Small woman with ice robot has joined me. Clearly wants to train but is afraid to ask. Have asked her to restock dumbbells. Squats 420 kilo 2x5. Paused to correct small woman's grip and help move heavier weights. Her name is May. Strict curl 100 kilo 3x5. Musician entered gym wearing socks. I told him to leave and find proper shoes. May is doing well for a beginner. Sweet little rabbit. Bench press at 450 kilo 3x5. Musician has returned with proper shoes and asked which muscle group to start with. He has pretty muscles, but no density. Told him to start with arms but move slowly. We'll see if he listens. Update. He did not. Cooldown stretch is complete. Seems most of these agents are hopeful children and not the tyrants and bureaucrats I expected. Total workout time 1 hour 27 minutes. End voice memo transcription. Bastion. Bio. Full name Bastion. Citizenship not available. Affiliation SST Laboratories. Bastion is the last known That has to be a mistake. Bastion is the last known in a sentient functioning Bastion E54 SST Laboratory Siege Automaton 54 unit. Bastion is the last known. Is a sentient functioning Bastion E54 SST Laboratory Siege Automaton E54 unit. Though the units were initially created for peacekeeping purposes, they turned against humanity during the Omnic Crisis and are seen as a symbol of the horrors of the conflict. However, after decades of being dormant, this particular unit was observed to exhibit peaceful behavior and an innate curiosity about the natural world and its inhabitants. 6:57 a.m. Log in Athena. Add new in Bastion. After being sighted in northern Sweden, Bastion was relocated to Gothenburg by Torbjorn Lindholm. Torbjorn has since removed his wartime programming and upgraded his outdated systems. 12:28 p.m. Log in Athena. Add new in Bastion. Bastion confirmed to be returning to Watchpoint Gibraltar with Brigitte and Reinhardt. Bastion Journal. Post Gothenburg. Begin log. Assessing new location. Designated Human Nourishment Zone. Threat assessment medium. Heat source multiple. Sharp object multiple. System message. Proximity alert. Cross-referencing visual profile with Overwatch database. Alexandra Zaryanova identified. Engaging conversation protocols. Alexandra Zaryanova. What brings you to the cafeteria, metal rat? You do not eat. Responding. Objective unknown. Alexandra Zaryanova. I do not understand beeps and boops. Processing. Processing. Responding. Initializing gesture protocols. Alexandra Zaryanova. Translation not found. Alexandra Zaryanova. Whatever these movements are, these I also do not understand. Processing. Alexandra Zaryanova. Well, are you going to sit down or just stand there? Processing. Responding. Initializing sit table. End log. Cassidy. Bio. Full name Cole Cassidy. Previously known by the pseudonym Jesse McCree. Citizenship United States of America. Affiliations Deadlock Rebels Gang, Blackwatch, Overwatch. Cole Cassidy was a member of the Deadlock Rebels Gang, a crime group operating within the American Southwest. He was caught during an Overwatch sting operation and was given the opportunity to join Blackwatch or spend time in jail. He chose to join. 11:11 a.m. Log in Athena. Add new in Cassidy. Cassidy has gone missing after the explosion at Overwatch's Swiss headquarters. 7:42 p.m. Log in Athena. Add new in Cassidy. Reports of Cassidy appearing as a gunslinger for hire throughout the United States. 9:43 p.m. Log in Athena. Add new in Cassidy. After the recall, numerous reports indicate Cassidy is traveling across the world. Motive is still unclear and will continue to scan for future sightings. 2:52 a.m. Log in Athena. Add new in Cassidy. Cassidy is sighted in Busan, South Korea, with Farah, Baptiste, and Zarya. Judging by reports made in the ROK Army, and the Mecha Squad, Cassidy has been recruiting new agents. Cassidy Journal, Post Toronto. Well, I'll be darned. Things are a couple yards worse than I thought. Don't know how that's possible since I tend to be the pessimistic one around the Overwatch watering hole, but as far as I understood it, Null Sector was always interested in liberating Omnics. Now they're collaring them like cattle? I can't make heads or tails of it. At least the folks I rustled up seem to be settling in nicely. Zari Nova claims she took out 357 Null Sector robots all on her own. I don't know how you keep count of something like that, but she's pretty sure about it. Meanwhile, Amari is pushing a load of ideas for fostering military discipline. Can't say I'm excited for those. I'd started to miss Overwatch in the year since it went down. Now I've been back for 5 minutes and remembering why I left. See, I'm not a soldier, never have been, and I think that means I'll never quite fit in. Take this document. Winston says I ought to scribble my thoughts down after every mission. Say what you will about Blackwatch, it was nice to have bosses that outlawed all record of our actions. Last time I wrote this much, it was to convince a juvenile parole board I'd learned an invaluable lesson about hot wire and motorcycles. But I'll hang around for now. Can't quite bring myself to turn tail and run when the world's in a mess like this. Winston, if I don't live until my next entry, will you make sure they bury me with my gun? Cass. Echo. Bio. Full name Echo. Citizenship? Not available. Affiliations? Overwatch. The Echo Project was headed by one of Overwatch's founding members and an expert in artificial intelligence, Dr. Mina Liao. The project's goal was to create a multi-role adaptive robot with flexible learning capabilities. Dr. Liao expressed, encrypted, Echo proved successful on test missions alongside Overwatch strike teams, but was never put into full service due to, encrypted, Dr. Liao's death during an attack on an Overwatch facility led to the robot's quarantine. 4:24 a.m. Log in Athena. Add new in Echo. Echo was freed by Cole Cassidy during an attempted heist by the Deadlock Rebels gang and joined the renewed Overwatch, appearing and assisting in Paris. Status change in Echo set to active. Echo Journal, Post Rio. Log 0649200101. Subject Cole Cassidy. Initiating replay. How's it feel being back? Back? Yeah, I mean, around Overwatch folks again. Agents, scientists.
Oh, I do not have a sense of having left, but I do recall that much of my learning happened in an environment like this one.
Not to get too sappy, but I remember seeing you before you were all put together, back in Oslo. Mina told me all about her plans for you. She wanted you to be better than anything the world had ever seen before.
Do you believe I've achieved her objective?
I think you've learned a lot, that she'd be proud.
That is not an answer to the question.
Answers aren't always so easy to find, Echo. When you're panning for gold, you're gonna have to get your hands a little muddy.
You laughed. Was that an attempt at humor, Cole?
Did you think it was entertaining?
Not particularly.
Huh. Guess we've both got something to work on.
Echo Journal, Post Toronto.
Log 0649245009. Subject Vivian Chase, callsign Sojourn. Initiating replay.
I have analyzed the Null Sector propaganda at your request, Sojourn.
Thanks. Send the report to my inbox.
Right away. May I ask something?
Shoot.
I cross-referenced this video propaganda to the Null Sector literature found during the uprising in King's Row and found similar language in both sources.
It's complicated. Null Sector saw Omnics being treated unfairly in London and offered them a path to freedom. They used extreme measures, but they claimed to be fighting for Omnic rights. But this, well, Null Sector can speak of freedom all they want. Subjugating Omnics is not liberation.
Do you believe all Omnics deserve freedom?
Every being has a right to agency. That's what I believe. Genji. Bio. Full name, Genji Shimada. Citizenship, Japan. Affiliations, Shimada Clan, Blackwatch, Overwatch. Genji Shimada is the youngest son of the head of the Shimada clan, a family of warriors and assassins based in Hanamura, Japan. The family's criminal activities started to expand into encrypted, which put them under Overwatch's surveillance. Due to Genji's personality and disinterest in family affairs, the clan considered him a liability. When his father was assassinated, the clan's leaders made a demand of Genji's elder brother Hanzo, "Bring your brother in line." The argument between the brothers became a life-or-death struggle, and Genji was mortally wounded. An Overwatch strike team was deployed to intervene, and he was rescued. His body was rebuilt and enhanced with cybernetics by Dr. Ziegler. He joined Blackwatch, focusing on dismantling his family's criminal empire and encrypted. He later moved on to Overwatch. 2:35 a.m. Login Athena. Add new in Genji. Reports confirmed Genji's numerous appearances at the Shambali monastery in Nepal. 11:57 p.m. Login Athena. Add new in Genji. Genji answered Winston's recall and assisted in neutralizing Null Sector's invasion of Paris. Genji Journal, Post Rio. Master, I hope you have been well since we last spoke. I know Mandata's passing has been difficult for you. May you find the same peace you offered me when I needed it most. My path has changed once again. Once more I stand with Overwatch. Before, I became part of Overwatch when I had no other option. Now, I join it to protect our world. It is an echo of its former self, but I believe it is better for it, just as I was. As Overwatch is different now, so too am I. Since my time with you, since forgiving my brother, I feel I can truly meet my potential. I will face this new threat as you taught me, with confidence in my own strength. It is your guidance that led me here after all. With undying respect, Genji. Master, this letter may not reach you before I do, but my thoughts trouble me. As you taught me, I will write them here instead of harboring them within. Post-Toronto Journal. I have completed a mission in Toronto. What I saw there struck me. We passed dozens of Omnics rendered comatose by their strange devices. It pained me, knowing I could do little to help those who had already fallen. Most troubling to me was Null Sector's message. The propaganda was playing all around the city. In it, they spoke of the iris as a cure to the suffering of Omnics. Perhaps my assumptions are misplaced, but his words felt familiar to me. You spoke often of someone close to you who left Shambali with doubt clouding his soul. I hope my suspicions do not offend you, Master. I do not wish to think this destruction could be at the hands of anyone you called a friend. Regardless, I feel the need to speak with you in person. I am concerned for your safety. I have asked Overwatch to join me in meeting you. I will explain myself further when I arrive. With undying respect, Genji. May, Bio. Full name, Mei Ling Zhou. Citizenship, China. Affiliation, Overwatch. Mei Ling Zhou was a climatologist assigned to Eco Point, Antarctica, to study and stabilize ecological issues around the world. Her research focused on climate manipulation, which was used to protect high-risk areas in the Asian region. A polar storm hit Eco Point, Antarctica, and isolated all the researchers on base, forcing them into cryostasis until a rescue arrived. Rescue attempts failed, and the crew is presumed lost. 12:01 a.m. Login Athena. Adu in May. May was found alive and reported the events that occurred while Eco Point, Antarctica was inactive. She confirmed that all the researchers were under cryostasis, but due to a malfunction, they had passed. She re-established connection at the base, received Winston's recall message, and escaped to Gibraltar. Status change in May set to active. 8:23 p.m. Login Athena. Add new in May. May assisted in neutralizing Null Sector's invasion of Paris. May Journal, Post Rio.
I just got back from Rio. I think I did okay, though it's still hard to believe I'm out there fighting with heroes like Lena and Reinhardt. When I answered Winston's call, I didn't expect he would need me out in the field. I am happy to help, but it's good to have time alone back in the lab. I think we are all thankful to be back in Gibraltar. Parts of it are just like I remember, but so much is different than the old days. It was so busy when I first came here with Captain Opara on the way to Antarctica. The science wing alone had 20 climatologists, and now it's just me. I wonder what those other scientists are all doing now. Anyway, I'm settling in. I need to finish unpacking. Winston said I could pick any room I wanted, but they felt so big compared to the quarters at the eco points. Snowball and I don't need all that space. I just picked a small one close to the science wing so I can hear any alerts that come in. That reminds me, I should probably go look at the weather satellite feeds and see if there have been any changes in global temperatures. This is Overwatch agent Mei Ling Zhou, signing off. I can't believe I just wrote that.
Post-Toronto Journal.
That was not an easy mission. I'm trying not to think about it, honestly. I don't want nightmares. It's hitting everyone differently. Dr. Ziegler has locked herself in her lab, and I saw Genji meditating in the courtyard. Winston has been trying to stay positive. He is speaking now with Athena and Brigitte about what Mr. Lindholm might be able to do. I'm worried that the answer might be not much. I have been trying to stay busy. I spent the last few hours bringing some of the old eco points back online remotely, in stealth mode of course, but the numbers still don't make any sense. These readings remind me of what Dr. Arrhenius used to talk about when she was doing her initial observations on the effects of the Omnic Crisis on Gothenburg, but nothing should be using that much power anymore. I need a break. Winston is right. I should go spend some more time with the other agents. Snowball would probably like that.
Farah. Bio. Full name, Fariha Amari. Citizenship, Egypt. Affiliations, Overwatch, Helix Security International. Fariha Amari grew up with the first Overwatch strike team, as her mother, Anna Amari, was second in command. She enlisted in the Egyptian army and rose quickly through the ranks. She has expressed enthusiasm for joining the organization. Due to encrypted, her application will require encrypted to avoid conflicts of interest. 11:52 a.m. Login Athena. Add new in Fariha. She accepted employment from a private security firm, Helix Security International, and is defending the artificial intelligence research facility in Giza. Her call sign is Farah. Update change title, Farah. 3:44 p.m. Login Athena. Add new in Farah. Confirmed reports of a meeting between Anna and Fariha. Cassidy was also observed on site. Farah Journal. Post Toronto. 7 p.m. 1900 hours. Return to base with Chase. Call sign Sojourn. Impressed with her command instincts, demeanor under fire. Honored to work with her. Some reservations re individualistic tendencies, rumors of vigilante activity. Experience will be an asset, but Overwatch can't afford loose cannon. 8 p.m. 2000 hours. Assisted Oxton with jet repair. Needed someone to reach engine. Lindholm, Shaw, Dr. Ziegler split off to research findings from Toronto. Cassidy announced gathering with remaining agents in courtyard to unwind. Attempt at morale boost? Cole stubborn as ever. Still looking forward to catching up. 11 p.m. 2300 hours. Visited medbay for painkillers. Headache from Wilhelm shouting. Feels impossible to avoid, voice carries. Found Dr. Ziegler asleep with subjugator research. Desk was a mess, unusual for her. Brought her food and urged to get some rest. 0200 hours. Rounds. Courtyard, briefing room, medbay. Angela no longer working. Good. Always happy to see her, but not like this. Someone reorganized gym. Zarya Nova? Doesn't feel like my space anymore. Basketball court is a different place, empty. Quiet somehow, making head worse. Missing Helix. Feels strange being here. An Overwatch agent after all this time. Reinhardt talks glory. Cole says it's my choice. He's wrong. Duty isn't choice. I don't think. Don't know. Need to take notes on state of things. Need to sleep. 0600 hours. Overwatch has potential. Agents seem eager. Cole's hope infectious. Too bad Angela's outsmarted disease. Talented recruits, brave soldiers. Good tactical instinct. Song, Zaryanova especially. But needs structure, my professional opinion. During Toronto, observed significant protocol breaches, including but not limited to cigar use on duty, Cole, reckless unilateral engagements, Wilhelm, others, crude language, Cole, various, excusing some infractions due to green nature of unit, though several should know better, and high mission urgency. Will suggest new policies to Sojourn. Begin work on training regimens. Sojourn. Bio. Full name, Vivian Chase. Citizenship, Canada. Affiliations, Canadian Special Forces, Overwatch. Vivian Chase was born with a rare terminal autoimmune disease. She was selected for a highly experimental treatment to replace her organs and limbs with state-of-the-art cybernetic ones. Due to her parents' military background, she joined the Canadian Armed Forces and was known for her tactical mind. She gained the call sign Sojourn. She was recruited into Overwatch by Jack Morrison after the Omnic crisis. Her activity with the organization include encrypted. Read the chapter book about Sojourn to learn more. 12:53 p.m. Login Athena. Add new in Sojourn. Sojourn testified against Overwatch. The United Nations later dissolved the organization. 2:53 p.m. Login Athena. Add new in Sojourn. She returned to Toronto, Canada, and is surveilled by the Canadian forces. The specific officer handling her case is Tremblay. 11:45 a.m. Login Athena. Add new in Sojourn. Vigilante activity in Toronto, Canada. Highly likely it is Agent Sojourn. Sojourn Journal. Post Toronto. One thing I missed about this place? Bottomless databanks. One thing I didn't miss? Standard issue cots. Not like I could sleep anyway. Been poring over all Overwatch's info on Null Sector. Not much of it up to date, but good to know about even still. Want to add the data I've gathered from my time in Toronto, but I'm not sure if I should. Is it really a good idea to update the files of an illegal NGO? I guess I'm already breaking the law just by being here, not to mention my work back in Toronto. In for a penny. I've been thinking back on the uprising in London. Despite the violence, it was easy to sympathize with the wants of the Omnics there. They were treated horribly. In their shoes, I can't imagine I wouldn't want to fight back. But it's harder for me to wrap my head around it all this time. There was no excusing what we saw in Toronto. To say you fight for someone, then force them into submission, it doesn't make sense. It's not right. I need to do more research. If these kids really want to put an end to this, we have to be prepared. I have to be prepared. Torbjorn. Torbjorn. Full name, Torbjorn Lindholm. Citizenship, Sweden. Affiliations, Ironclad Guild, Overwatch. Torbjorn Lindholm is one of the world's top engineers. Initially known for designing weapon systems used around the world, he eventually joined the original Overwatch strike team. He is credited for inventions that were vital to ending the Omnic crisis, such as Reinhard Wilhelm's evolved Crusader armor, Anna Amari's biotic rifle, and other encrypted. He and his daughter, Brigitte Lindholm, are currently members of the Ironclad Guild, an organization dedicated to improving the world through technology. 4:46 p.m. Login Athena. Add new in Torbjorn. Torbjorn was seen disabling a rogue Titan unit in Boklovo. It was reportedly piloted by encrypted. You can read the comics or a chapter book to learn more. 3:38 a.m. Login Athena. Add new in Torbjorn. Torbjorn reportedly retrieved a Bastion E-54 unit and escorted it back to the Ironclad Guild. That story was also told in the comics. Torbjorn Journal, Post Gothenburg. Dear Brigitte, thank you for coming to visit. Your mother was very happy to see you, even if only for a few minutes after we saved the city from the giant robot. It is too bad that you had to leave before the grandkids could come by for supper. They have been demanding that I train them to join Overwatch 2. I told them to read the engineering textbooks I assigned, but they refused to be that kind of Overwatch agent. Oh well. When you are home next, please tell them that in addition to swinging your flail around, you also read the engineering textbooks. There is some very good information in there, as you know. Well, anyway, I am talking to the choir. At any rate, good luck with Null Sector. Please be careful, especially when Reinhardt says something like, let's go in, or it won't be that bad. In my experience, those are times when it is particularly advisable to be cautious. You'll make me proud every day. Papa.
P.S. Please tell Reinhardt that he left 3 pairs of lederhosen here last October. I was supposed to give them back, but with all the craziness I forgot, and of course they don't fit anyone else, so they are just hanging in my closet gathering dust.
Tracer, bio. Full name, Lena Oxton. Citizenship, United Kingdom. Affiliation, Overwatch. Lena Oxton was the youngest pilot inducted into Overwatch's experimental flight program, which tested the Slipstream, a teleporting fighter. During its first flight, the Slipstream malfunctioned and disappeared. Lena was presumed dead. She reappeared months later, suffering from chronal disassociation and unable to maintain physical form due to her molecules being affected by the flow of time. A colleague, Winston, designed the chronal accelerator, allowing Tracer to be anchored in the present and ability to control her own time. She joined the Overwatch strike team and is one of their most effective agents. 7:27 a.m. Login Athena. Add new in Tracer. Shortly after Overwatch's dissolution, Tracer was demoted to an administrative job at the Royal Air Force. 9:12 a.m. Login Athena. Add new in Tracer. Vigilante activity reported in London, United Kingdom, and is highly likely that it is Agent Tracer. 12:52 p.m. Login Athena. Add new in Tracer. Tracer was seen attempting to prevent the assassination of the Omnic monk Mondata. 3:12 a.m. Login Athena. Add new in Tracer. Tracer was the first to answer Winston's recall. Tracer Journal post-Rio.
Emily. You there? I'm down in the bunkers next to Turing Green. Don't know if I have a signal.
Tracer.
Hi, I see you. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. The news is showing videos of you in Rio. I'm famous, lol. How are you feeling? Good. Overwatch is back. It must be a little weird, right? Very weird. Good weird. Is everyone still using their old code names? Yep. You know Winston. If you have a nickname, he's using it. Yeah, that sounds like him. Okay, gotta go.
Tracer Journal post-Toronto.
Lena? You must be busy. Hit me when you're back. Here. Sorry. Was fixing the jet. For hours. Toronto was bad? How did you know? You never focus on anything for hours unless you're upset. Lol. You always know what to say. What happened? Is everyone okay? Yep. All in one piece. Just scary out there. Null Sector's hurting Omnics. That doesn't make any sense. I know. Any Omnics in the bunker with you? Yes, certain people aren't happy about that. Certain people are rotten. Anyway, can you tell the Omnics about Null Sector? It's bad news, but they should know. Okay, I will. Be careful. I'll have good news soon. Promise.
Support. Baptiste. Bio. Full name. Jean-Baptiste Augustin. Citizenship. Haiti. Affiliations. Caribbean Coalition. Encrypted. It's Talon. Jean-Baptiste Augustin was orphaned by the Omnic Crisis and enlisted in the Caribbean Coalition, a pan-island force formed in response to the threats. He served in an elite branch of the Special Ops as a combat medic. After the crisis, he joined Talon and sent money to fund his clinic in Haiti, and was instrumental in Encrypted. Communication interception suggests that he is communicating with Encrypted, although this is still unconfirmed. 2:11 a.m. Login Athena. Add new in Baptiste. Reports place Baptiste and Cassidy together in Bucharest, Romania. 11:42 p.m. Login Athena. 11:42 a.m. Add new in Baptiste. Encrypted targeted data at Cassidy's request. Baptiste Journal, post-Toronto.
Hey Winston, happy to be here. Filled out this mission debrief like you asked, attached. I wrote it up the way we did in the Caribbean Coalition. We basically stuck to the facts and kept the rest to ourselves. Let me know if the format's not what you're looking for. My protocol's a bit rusty, but it should have all the info you need. Hope you don't mind, but I skipped the personal reflections section. I appreciate that you are looking out for all the agents, but I am doing fine. Was nice working with the team again. Much love, Baptiste.
Brigitte. Bio. Full name, Brigitte Lindholm. Citizenship, Sweden. Affiliation, Ironclad Guild. Brigitte Lindholm is the youngest daughter of weapons designer and Ironclad Guild member Torbjorn Lindholm. Her primary focus is in defensive systems, unlike her father, who is renowned for his weapons. 2:22 p.m. Login Athena. Add new in Brigitte. It has been reported that she has been fighting alongside Reinhardt as his squire. 11:42 a.m. Login Athena. Add new in Brigitte. She appeared with Reinhardt in Paris to help neutralize Null Sector's invasion. Brigitte Journal, post Rio.
I've been writing a poem every day. I wrote a lot when I was a kid, and I'm trying to get back into it. Inspired by a conversation with Nils, who can convince anyone to become an artist, and it's been a really nice way to center myself, even when things get crazy. I don't claim to be the best poet, but I'm having fun, and that's what matters, right? There's no way I'm going to let Null Sector ruin that for me, so a poem about Rio. Daily poem. Bright colors, fun places, but no faces, because drop pods like hail, falling overwhelming, except one fact, they failed to track, Overwatch is back. My classmates from that workshop in Stockholm wouldn't like this one, but I think it's pretty good. I was skeptical when Reinhardt decided to answer Winston's recall, but it was the right decision. I never thought they treated him right in the past, but this Overwatch feels different. It's people just like him, who will do anything they can to help, and the world certainly needs it. We're already facing a challenge more immense than I could ever have imagined. I'm not sure I'm ready, but then I don't think Papa and Reinhardt were exactly ready when the Omnic crisis broke out. Just like them, I'm going to do my best to help the team. P.S. I really wish my shield was larger like Reinhardt's. There are so many more people to protect. I'll keep tinkering on it. Wouldn't it be great if we could combine our shields together, like we did in Paris?
Brigitte Journal, post Toronto.
Daily poem. A quiet subway, stop, listen. No trains thunder here, only subjugators. Bodies in elevators, purple helmets buzz. We're heading to Gothenburg as soon as possible. I can't stop thinking about those poor Omnics curled up in the subway with those awful things on their heads. I hope Papa can figure out a way to save them. If he can't, I'm not sure anybody can. It'll be nice to see home, even under such terrible circumstances. Reinhardt keeps saying how great it'll be when Papa joins Overwatch. I guess they haven't talked in a while.
By the way, there were subway cars in the certain areas moving, active, thundering. Brigitte Journal, post Gothenburg.
I can't describe how it felt to see Null Sector drop pods barraging my hometown. The way my stomach twisted when buildings I've visited many times were sliced into fiery halves by that Titan's chest laser. So much damage, but it could have been much worse. Papa's already hard at work, helping rebuild in case of another attack. On a brighter note, fighting alongside Papa and Reinhardt was like stepping into one of their old war stories. I've always wondered if I could hold my own alongside them. But you know what? I think I pulled my weight. Daily poem. Flames bright against the sky as I stand beside my father. He's getting older, but still that stubborn heart building turrets, and me his daughter. I love you, Papa. Through cobblestone rain and chest lasers, we persevered and won, but the fight has just begun. I think I'm getting better at this. Maybe Marta's not the only writer in the family anymore. When this is all over, I have to make time to visit all my nieces and nephews. They're growing up so fast, I'm worried I'm going to miss it. Brigitte.
Alert, unauthorized protocol traces detected. May indicate data breach. Code 45WWRR75. Lúcio. Bio. Full name, Lúcio Correa dos Santos. Citizenship, Brazil. Affiliations, not available. Lúcio is an international celebrity and an acclaimed DJ and recording artist. He used his music to rally the Brazilian citizens to rise against the corporation's exploitation of his city, taking back his father's sonic technology from Vishkar Corporation. 12:11 a.m. Log in Athena. Add new in Lúcio. Lúcio fought Null Sector alongside the recalled Overwatch unit in Rio de Janeiro. Lúcio Journal, post Rio. I've never been great at keeping still. Even as a kid, if you made me stand in line, I'd be hopping from foot to foot. My dad told me I'd grow up to be a dancer or a fighter, and I told him I'd be both. He laughed. Guess I showed him because I am flying with Overwatch. The actual Reinhard Wilhelm just slapped me across the back. Tracer is right here next to me. I just saw May on the news saving Paris, and now she's across from me writing in her journal. We are both writing in our journals. This is really happening. I'm in Overwatch. This is really, actually happening. Guess we've been flying for 10 minutes, but I didn't even ask how long this flight's gonna be. Hopefully not too long. I can't wait to see what it's like back at the base. Lúcio Journal, post Toronto. We didn't win that one. I guess I started off excited, like a kid who didn't know all the rules to the game he was playing, but we got there too late. Toronto was mostly empty. A bunch of Omnics were captured or hurt or I don't know. Everyone's gone kinda quiet. Makes sense if you think about it. Together we're all supposed to make the new Overwatch, sure, but most of us really don't know each other. That's gonna take time. Maybe I'll call my dad. Nah, he'll worry. I should get out of there. I should get out there, make some friends. Can't get to know people in my room. Back, exercised, feeling tons better, very sore. This team is great. Mercy. Bio. Full name, Angela Ziegler. Citizenship, Switzerland. Affiliation, Overwatch. Angela Ziegler is a child prodigy and nanotechnology pioneer. Her medical breakthroughs caught the attention of Overwatch, and she was recruited as their head of medical research. Her research has been used in Encrypted. Among her developments is the Valkyrie Swift Response Suit, designed for personal use on the front lines as a combat medic. 9:12 a.m. Login Athena. Add new in Mercy. Mercy was seen volunteering in numerous clinics and sites of conflict around the world. In Cairo, she was reported to have used the Valkyrie suit. There were confirmations of the presence of Agent Anna Amari. 2:11 a.m. Login Athena. Add new in Mercy. Mercy answered the recall and appeared in Paris during the Null Sector invasion. Mercy Journal, post Rio. Here I am again, sitting in my old spot in the corner of the lab, writing in my journal and looking out over that familiar view of the courtyard. I can hear Reinhardt telling the same old war stories at the top of his lungs. It's almost like no time has passed. But it has. Almost a decade later, and here I am again, a doctor on the front line of another war with more work to be done. It's hard for me to remember the child I was, the one who dreamed of a world without death. Maybe I lost her during one of those endless emergency room graveyard shifts. Cole's new recruits are staying just as positive. I see my younger self in some of them, but mostly I feel tired, distant, older than all of them, even Reinhardt, especially Reinhardt. It's good to see Fariha again, though. Mercy Journal, post Toronto. I can't shake what we saw in Toronto. I've asked Brigitte for scans of the subjugated Omnics, and she was eager to share her findings. She seems to be in fair spirits, all things considered. I marvel at her energy. In her I see what could have been if I'd made less mistakes at her age. But enough of all that. Here, with this poor Omnic, I can do some good. Perhaps I can analyze the problem until it solves itself. I fell asleep. It sounds like the others are still talking outside. I should make an effort to socialize. Just a few more minutes on the occipital spire of this helmet first. Quiet out there now. Oh well. Must have fallen asleep again. Fariha brought me a sandwich. I didn't even know I was hungry, but I was. It's a good sandwich. She remembered I like the bread toasted. Missions. Resistance. 0 hour. Cutscene. Prologue. Cutscene. Rio de Janeiro. Briefing. Mission objective. Assist in the defense of Rio against Null Sector invaders. We have been contacted by Lúcio Correa dos Santos with a request to help repel invading Null Sector forces in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Convene with Lúcio and assist in his defense of the city. Do you hear all those voices around you? The same voices you hear in the favela. The voices in music stores, markets, on the beaches, and in the streets. We are the voice of Rio. Lúcio Correa dos Santos. Rio de Janeiro. Pre-mission cinematic. Rio de Janeiro mission success. Rendezvous with Lúcio Correa dos Santos. Complete. Repel and disperse invading Null Sector ground forces. Complete. Board and destroy Null Sector command ship. Complete. Additional insights. New recruit. Lúcio Correa dos Santos. Returning agent. Cole Cassidy. Accompanied by new recruits. Fariha Amari, Farah. Hannah Song, Diva. Jean-Baptiste Augustin, Baptiste. Alexandra Zaryanova, Zarya. Summary. The new Overwatch team joined forces with the musician Lúcio Correa dos Santos. While fighting their way through Rio's streets to the gargantuan carrier ship hanging over the city, they faced deadly new war machines and discovered strange, powerful technology. Null Sector, previously a small Omnic resistance group last seen in London, had gained access to troubling amounts of resources and weaponry. The team destroyed Null Sector's carrier and saved Rio. With the rest of the world still under attack by Null Sector, Lúcio returned with the team to Watchpoint Gibraltar, where 5 more heroes joined up: Baptiste, Cassidy, Diva, Farah, and Zarya. Overwatch is back, but so is Null Sector. To face a worldwide threat and an unknown enemy, they are going to need one more hero from the old days. Notes submitted by Winston. First Paris, now Rio. Overwatch is back, and our inaugural effort is saving the world from Null Sector. It's almost poetic. The Rio mission was, admittedly, a little messy. Even so, it was a great learning experience. The team adjusted on the fly, with Lúcio guiding us through the streets of Rio. He fit in perfectly with the team. I couldn't have been happier to welcome him into our ranks. Not to mention that Cassidy is back now too, and brought some new recruits with him as well. They are sorely needed. To think that Null Sector is attacking cities like this all over the world. We aren't going to beat them by going from town to town. We have to fight smarter, find their weak spots. How did they get so powerful? Where did they get all this technology? That strange power relay comes to mind. I haven't yet uncovered where they draw their energy from. I have a feeling that the answer to that puzzle will point us to the culprit behind these attacks. All the same, I have to believe that. But the team doesn't need to see me worrying, and Cassidy's right. We still need one more person to make this team the most effective it can be. I just hope we can get to her in time. Rio de Janeiro post-mission cinematic. Invasion, Liberation, Toronto. Briefing. Locate and assist former Overwatch agent, encrypted. The new Overwatch lacks the personnel and resources that the organization had in its prime. A superior tactician will be required to help this team address the Null Sector threat. Mission objectives are to locate call sign, encrypted, within the borders of Null Sector occupied Toronto, and secure their further assistance. I get it, okay? Wilcox Engineering hired Omnics behind the city council's back, but they also pulled Toronto out of the wreckage of the Omnic crisis during one of the worst winters we ever had. They did more than save your jobs. They saved your city. They saved lives. But like I said, I get it. I made all you bigots on the city council look like fools. I understand why you want me gone. But you know what? Toronto will want me back come winter. Malik Wilcox at his sentencing. Toronto pre-mission cinematic. Toronto mission success. Objectives. Rendezvous with Vivian Chase, call sign Sojourn. Complete. Rescue and extract remaining uncompromised civilians. Complete. Additional insights. Extracted. Subjugated Omnic. Identity unknown. Summary. In Toronto, Overwatch reunited with former Overwatch agent Vivian Chase, aka Sojourn. After protecting the last ferry of civilians fleeing the city, the team encountered a broadcast from the leader of Null Sector, promising to liberate Omnics. Searching for remaining civilians in the city, Sojourn and the others found an Omnic transit worker named Claire, who promised to lead them to other Omnics who had been captured by Null Sector. While following her through the subway tunnels, the team witnessed their first subjugation when a floating Null Sector machine captured a lone Omnic and clamped a helmet over his head, rendering him catatonic before Overwatch could save him. The team's luck did not improve. By the time Overwatch reached Claire's fellow survivors, the only conscious Omnic was a lawyer named Reggie. Everyone else had been subjugated as well. With Toronto conquered by Null Sector, Overwatch resolved to escape the city with Claire and Reggie in tow. After returning to Watchpoint Gibraltar, the team plotted their next moves. Genji, noticing that the mysterious leader of Null Sector had mentioned the Iris, thought of speaking with his former master, the Omnic monk Zenyatta. And Brigitte and Reinhardt, hoping to learn more about the subjugation helmets, discussed visiting the former chief engineer of Overwatch, Torbjorn Lindholm. Notes, submitted by Sojourn. Can't say I ever expected to be writing a debrief report again. First order of business after I get some rest, go through my iCam footage from the last 6 hours. I want a closer look at those subjugators, what they're doing, how they move, every last detail. I'm not sure how Null Sector kept the subjugators off my radar during all those days of fighting, and that's bad news. Whoever's behind this attack knows how to hide and protect their assets. They have goals, and we don't know them yet. I don't have much to go on yet. Note to self, get Winston to review old Null Sector reports with me. Might be something in there. Until then, we're in gut territory. I hate gut territory, but here goes. Null Sector was an organization founded to protect Omnics from humanity. They wouldn't be attacking the world to hurt Omnics. Even the subjugation, nightmarish as it is, must be part of some larger goal. I hope that's not wishful thinking. I don't want to believe that Null Sector has become just one more group preying on Omnics. Maybe it'll all make sense after I get about 20 minutes of sleep. V. Toronto Post-Mission Cinematic. Ironclad, Gothenburg. Briefing. Mission objective. Bring the subjugated Omnic to Torbjorn. We need insight on the technology Null Sector is using to subjugate Omnics. Former Overwatch Chief Engineer Torbjorn Lindholm may be able to assist in this matter.
In the event of another attack, calmly activate your personal startake and hold your thumbs. You won't be in there long. Gothenburg's new air defense network is second to none. If there's anyone who knows more about helmets than I do, it's Torbjorn. Don't tell him I said that.
Reinhard Wilhelm. Gothenburg Pre-Mission Cinematic. Gothenburg Mission Success. Objectives. Rendezvous with Torbjorn Lindholm. Success. Repel Null Sector command ship with air defense network. Success. Destroy Null Sector Titan with Torbjorn's mega cannon. Success. Recruit Torbjorn to Overwatch. Declined. Investigate the subjugation helmet. In progress. Additional insights. New recruit Bastion, SST Laboratory Siege Automaton E-54 unit. Summary. Reunited with his daughter Brigitte and his friend Reinhardt, Torbjorn introduced an unusual house guest, the former war machine Bastion. Before the four of them could discuss the ongoing subjugation of Omnics worldwide, Null Sector attacked Gothenburg, forcing the four heroes to activate the city's defense grid. Torbjorn's weaponry critically damaged Null Sector's carrier, but not before it launched a massive Titan unit intent on leveling Torbjorn's workshop. Just in time, the four heroes assembled and fired Torbjorn's mighty mega cannon, destroying the Titan. After the battle, Torbjorn stayed behind to continue his research on the subjugated Omnic, but invited Reinhardt and Brigitte to take Bastion back to Watchpoint Gibraltar. Notes. Submitted by Torbjorn.
Less beeping, booping, and shouting should mean it's easier to concentrate, but here I am 2 hours after they've left, wishing it was a little less quiet around here. Ah well, come on, my Omnic friend, let's learn more about why someone put a fearsome purple gadget on your head.
Gothenburg Post-Mission Cinematic. Underworld, King's Row. Underworld Briefing. Location, King's Row, London. Mission objective, rescue the Omnics trapped in King's Row. A distress call has been received from the citizens of the London Underworld. Locate the source of the transmission and drive Null Sector from King's Row. Underworld, mission success. Objectives. Locate and repair decommissioned TS-1 robot. Complete. Reprogrammed compromised bunker entry terminal. Complete. Defeat Null Sector forces invading King's Row. Complete. Submitted by Iggy.
Hey, remember when I said we owed you one? Well, Lizzie and I are putting together a concert for the people of King's Row. It's a whole weekend event, sort of a benefit, raising funds for repairs for TS1 and the local storefronts. Rebel Records is lending us some sound equipment, and we're going to set up the main stage and mosh pit by the Burley warehouse. Not really sure how the team feels about music, but it's always nice to be a VIP, yeah? We're running a tour of the Underworld, too. That way everyone gets a chance to see how things are when we're a little less under attack. We may have been through some tough times, but there's a lot to love about our little corner of London. I'm hoping we can bring together the neighborhood and get people working together to clean up after Null Sector. We'd have been wrecked without you here, but they still made a right mess of things. Let me know if you plan to stop by. Everyone would love to meet the saviors of the Underworld. If nothing else, drop me a line and if you've got any song requests.
General Intel. Overwatch, International Task Force. Excerpt from the Overwatch Museum Guide. A world in crisis. When the Omnic Crisis began, humanity was unprepared. The overwhelming robotic armies of the rogue god program Anubis were more than any one nation could face. Some held out against invasion by creating unique task forces, such as Germany's Crusader Initiative and the United States' Soldier Enhancement Program. As the war continued and humanity struggled to survive, the United Nations began to discuss a more global solution. The world could always use more heroes. Overwatch was created to be a global task force with one singular goal: save the world from the Omnic threat. The United Nations pulled together a group of soldiers, scientists, adventurers, and oddities, the best every nation in the world had to offer. These heroes were tasked with waging asymmetrical war against Anubis' relentless army. Overwatch led the global counterattack against the Omnics, and with the world at their side, the Omnic crisis eventually came to an end. Celebrated as saviors, Overwatch enjoyed a meteoric rise in power, prominence, and funding, and their research led to an era of countless technological and medical advancements. The end of Overwatch. Though Overwatch outlasted the war and brought hope and liberty to many nations, years of controversy and allegations of corruption tarnished Overwatch's bright legacy. After a series of high-profile mission failures, charges of corruption and political meddling, and the discovery of the infamous covert op division Blackwatch, the world turned against Overwatch. A series of hearings and devastating testimonials by former agents precipitated the end of an era. The UN made the decision to disband Overwatch, and former agents were forbidden from any unsanctioned peacekeeping activities. Null Sector, militant organization. Null Sector faction overview. Excerpt from an opinion piece. Another crisis is on our doorstep. Their leaders are anonymous. Their motives seem clear, yet they move in the shadows. What is the greater mission of the organization known as Null Sector? Though they claim their membership spans the globe, and they have eyes on all injustice perpetrated against their kind, none have stood up to reveal themselves. Advancing the fight for Omnic rights is a clear call to action, but not just for Omnics. Humanity barely survived the crisis, and since, we have been given the minds behind Null Sector every reason to strike us from the face of the earth. Transcribed from a Null Sector propaganda message prior to the uprising. Our name represents who we are. We have no home, and should our cause prevail, we will have no masters. Uprising. Excerpt from the book Crisis in King's Row, The Omnic Uprising. Following the Omnic crisis, the task of rebuilding the UK fell largely on the backs of the newly sentient Omnic population. Though these Omnic laborers performed many menial and dangerous tasks, the UK government denied them basic rights and citizenship. This unfair treatment drove many Omnics to seek support elsewhere. Null Sector seized this opportunity to recruit new followers, making promises of freedom from a life of human exploitation. Their ideology spread like wildfire, creating further unrest in London, and culminated in a violent attack on King's Row. Null Sector invaded the streets with a legion of mindless drones, not unlike the units created to wage war during the Omnic Crisis before the Awakening. To this day, it is still unclear why more Omnics didn't take part in the attack on King's Row. Only one member of Null Sector, an unidentified Omnic, was killed in the fighting. Where were Null Sector's fiercest fighters? Why did they choose to abandon the Omnics of London? Omnic subjugation during the Null Sector invasion. Excerpt from an article, Null Sector attacking Omnics. During their global attacks on major population centers, Null Sector robots have specifically hunted Omnics, clamping a device onto their head and rendering them catatonic. With this fact in mind, we can speak with certainty Null Sector's primary goal is no longer focused on ensuring the freedom of Omnics. Null Trooper. Overview, submitted by Athena. This report details observations following a second encounter with Null Troopers in Rio de Janeiro. The Null Troopers demonstrate a low level of situational awareness, but concerning levels of simulated determination. These units pursue their targets relentlessly, despite facing significant resistance. Agents have reported sightings of an elite variant of the Null Troopers, recognizable by its black and gold armor. This variant has proven to be deadlier than its counterpart, as it is capable of engaging at an increased range. Determination, submitted by Reinhardt.
Back in my day, all it took was one hard swing of my hammer to decommission these mindless drones. But these newer ones just keep coming. Smash their gun arm and they come running with a blade. Destroy their legs and they crawl at you. But if they think they can outlast me, they thought wrong. I won't stop until the world is free of these stubborn little robots.
Design Principles, submitted by Winston.
I have created many things in my lifetime, and each time this question guides me. How can this help people? It saddens me to think that whoever redesigned these Null Troopers with such care had the exact opposite goal. They wanted to create a highly efficient killing machine, and I am afraid they have succeeded.
Jump Jet. Overview, submitted by Athena. An upgraded Null Sector unit was spotted for the first time during the assist mission in Rio de Janeiro. These flying units possess a cannon that delivers a volley of projectiles from the air or a single-fire missile on the ground. Upon destruction, they emit a sonic blast, dealing medium damage to any target within its radius. Flight Patterns, submitted by Tracer.
These jump jets sure are pesky. Their flight patterns are all over the place. I was dashing around, trying to land my pulse bomb, but they're fast and nimble, like me. Maybe that's why Winston won't let me try his jetpack. As a pilot, I was trained to anticipate the enemy's next move, but it was clear that these jump jets are simply programmed to move randomly, and how do you predict that? Guess I've just got to be sharper and quicker than them. Can do.
Mysterious Jet Fuel, submitted by Echo.
I have received the chemical analysis of the jet fuel used by jump jets. Results show that their source of power is neither nuclear nor outdated fossil fuels. What unknown energy source creates a sonic boom upon combustion at such small quantities? I am not aware of any matter that has such potential. If our new enemy has already harnessed this energy source to this extent, what else have they accomplished?
Artillery, submitted by Athena. Overview. The artillery unit easily relocates to optimal striking locations without assistance from other enemy units and shifts smoothly between short, medium, and long-range attacks. Proposed strategy for artillery takedown, submitted by Sojourn. The missiles on these siege units have deadly explosive range and don't need to be accurate. Their landing is pretty brutal and they're as heavy as they look. To beat them, you have to push through their barrage and advance quickly. They're weak at close range. Dismantle their cannons before they try to reposition again, and we got them. I'll debrief everyone on this strategy before the next mission, so Reinhardt has no excuses. Mass-scale production, submitted by Brigitte.
Something's not adding up here. I remember when Papa was fully funded by Overwatch and even he got frustrated at supply chain issues. These artillery units can't be easy to fabricate, and there's a lot of them. So how did Null Sector manage such mass-scale production without anyone noticing? Where are they getting their resources from? Tracking any suspicious energy usage and supply chain routes might help us get closer to who's behind all this.
Charger. Overview, submitted by Athena. The Charger unit was first identified protecting the core in the Null Sector carrier over Rio. It is capable of entering an invulnerable state to repair itself. The Charger's speed and armor make it one of the deadliest Null Sector ground units in the field. Null Sector Philosophy, submitted by Genji.
Despite my advanced body, I am not versed in the subject of engineering. I am hesitant to claim any knowledge on the more mechanical parts of myself. Yet, seeing the ruthlessness of the Charger, I feel compelled to comment on at least this. There is great pain and rage expressed through these machines. The way the Charger and the other robots fight, with no self-preservation and suicidal recklessness, alarms me and tells us something of their creator.
Overview, submitted by Athena. The Toronto mission revealed a new Null Sector unit the team has named Stalker. Its key characteristics are its extreme aerial agility and its ability to use gravitational bending to pull its target from medium range for a fatal attack. Team Strategy, submitted by Sojourn. You'll need speed and metal to take a Stalker down. It's fast and creepy, but if you remain calm, they pose less of a threat than you'd think. Keep your ears open for its signature cackle. That'll help you locate it. Don't try to take this one down alone. If it's pulling you in, you've only got seconds before it's over. And I don't need to attend any more funerals in my lifetime. Stalker Orbs, submitted by Torbjorn.
These orbs around the Stalker are more than just decoration. I examined its contents and they're filled with some mysterious plasma. When we split one open, it immediately disappeared into thin air. This is something beyond my expertise and I don't like it. I have to focus on figuring out the subjugator helmet, but if I have time, I want to study that material more closely and look into the program driving its hunting behavior.
Subjugator, submitted by Athena. Identified in Toronto, the Subjugator unit uniquely targets Omnics and effectively renders them comatose via the application of what agents currently describe as a helmet. What happens during and after subjugation is still unclear. The helmet's effect on Omnics is currently incurable, and the helmet cannot be removed without damaging the host.
Fallen Omnic, Zarya. Null Sector claims they fight for Omnics, yet they attack their own kind. Or maybe this is a trick. Are they trying to distract us from their true goal? How dishonorable. But I would not put it beneath them. Maybe Null Sector is not so different from humans after all, if they are capable of such treachery.
Vulture. Vulture Analysis File Upload Log, submitted by Bastion. Opening file, Vulture Analysis. Weapon type, Directed Energy Laser Cannon. Add, MP9 Media Attachment, Combat Gothenburg. Weapon 2 type, Contained Electromagnetic Pulse Detonator. Add, Text file, Combat Log Gothenburg. Observed Weaknesses. 2. Hover pads located on right and left prongs of frame. Add, DWG file, Vulture Schematics. Opening properties for file Vulture Analysis. Size 92 GB. Compress file Vulture Analysis. Compressing 100%. File size 2 GB. Submitting file Vulture Analysis. Upload complete. Notification. New message from Torbjorn Lindholm. Opening message.
That was fast. Thanks.
Vulnerable. Submitted by Brigitte.
I hate these vultures. I feel so vulnerable when I'm trapped in its EMP barrier, or worse, when I see somebody else trapped in there. It just reminds me this war is real and it's getting worse by the day. I have to be strong enough for everyone. I can't let my guard down. I won't let these vultures, or any Null Sector robots, get to me or anyone else.
Debrief, Slicer Unit Overview. By Athena. Slicers are a high-speed Null Sector unit that ignore all threats and destroy its targets with a high-damage directed energy laser weapon. Laser Puppies. Submitted by Reinhardt.
Winston keeps telling me I'm not allowed to call these things laser puppies. He mentioned making them cute will make it harder for us to neutralize them. But they are very cute, at least when they aren't destroying infrastructure. Agent Zarya Nova agrees with me too. Although she thinks they look more like rabbits and I don't see Winston correcting her. Frankly, I think she makes him nervous.
Breacher. Submitted by Athena. Overview. The Breacher is a low-mobility unit with a single offensive method, self-detonation. Removing its legs is the most effective way to neutralize this unit with minimum casualties.
Looks kind of like a sentry buster.
Titan. Titan unit modifications. submitted by Torbjorn.
The hull on this Titan's been coated with frostphobic lubricant, like it was operating in sub-zero climates. Other than that, the insides are completely different from my original schematics. Feels like whoever created this Titan is mocking me, using my designs as they please. But I can't control what others do with my creations. I can only move forward and stay one step ahead of their evil intentions. The Omnic Crisis taught me that.
Talon, criminal organization.
Our future will be forged in conflict.
A secretive worldwide army of mercenaries, amoral scientists, spies, and assassins led by Akande Ogundimu, known now to the world as Doomfist. In Overwatch's absence, their power and influence has spread unchecked through the nations of the world. Their goals remain a mystery. Vishkar Corporation. The future is here. A multinational corporation infamous for its mastery and ruthless protection of its proprietary hard light technology used to rebuild many nations after the Omnic Crisis. Though they have largely been driven out of Rio, they maintain a domineering presence in many cities around the globe. The Shambali, monastic order. The Shambali monks. We are all one in the iris. Dwelling in the Shambali monastery high in the mountains of Nepal, these Omnic monks study the mysteries of the iris and teach peaceful coexistence between Omnics and humans. Aurora. The first sentient Omnic, created by Dr. Mina Liao. With the help of Overwatch, Liao and Aurora devised a way to grant sentience to the rest of the Omnics on the planet, at the cost of Aurora's life, in the hopes of bringing an end to the devastating Omnic Crisis. This sacrifice broke Anubis's control over the Omnics fighting humanity, essentially ending the crisis. But when Aurora died, the Iris, an inexplicable glowing aura at the heart of the Shambali monastery, was born. The Iris. The Iris's very existence is a mystery that defies description. It came into being at the exact moment of the awakening, the event that gave Omnics sentience. The Shambali believe it connects all living things, but even that may be an oversimplification. Takarta Mandata. Mandata was the leader of the Omnic monks at... Okay then.
Winston, the mission in Gothenburg was a success.
Takarta Mandata.
Null Sector forces
Mandata was a leader of the Omnic
a
monks at the
significant
Shambali monastery. He
That's
championed
excellent
peaceful
news.
coexistence between Omnics and
Null
humans
Sector
and
won't be
attended
taken
countless
down so
outreach
easily.
events
This war is just getting started.
before he was assassinated a few years before the return of Null Sector. His killer has never been brought to justice. Takarta Zenyatta. Zenyatta was brought to the Shambali monastery by the Omnic known as Ramatra. There, studying under Mandata and spending countless hours discussing the dangers facing their people, the two became as close as brothers. Some years after Ramatra left the monastery, Zenyatta did as well, traveling to nearby Suravasa to work closer to humanity. There he met Genji Shimada, and slowly helped the young man find the peace he so desperately sought. Ramatra. Made by the rogue god program Anubis, Ramatra was among many Ravager units designed to lead Omnics into war. Once granted sentience by an event known as the Awakening, he was tormented by his role in the crisis and struggled with the concept of sentience as a gift. He buried his guilt and anger deep, striving to understand and follow Mandata's teachings, hoping to suppress the darkness within him. As a monk, Mandata went out into the world to promote the Shambali monks' message of peace between Omnics and humans. During one of these pilgrimages, he found the Omnic Zenyatta and returned with him, after a dangerous journey, to the Shambali monastery. There, the two studied under Mandata and became close. Over time, Ramatra became frustrated with the restrictive teaching of the Shambali, believing they weren't doing enough to protect Omnics around the world. He left the monastery and his brother Zenyatta. Ironclad Guild, Research Group. Before the Omnic Crisis, leading engineers across Europe founded the Ironclad Guild with a strictly altruistic mission, crafting inventions to improve the world, then making those inventions available to everyone, without restrictive patents. Though the Guild saved many lives during the crisis, some of their technological advancements, like the massive skyscraper-building robot known as the Titan, were repurposed as weapons by Anubis, prompting a fair amount of soul-searching after the war. Miscellaneous. The lesser-known people and groups who populate the world of Overwatch. Claire Hopper. Claire's first year in war-damaged Toronto was not an easy one. As one of Malik Engineering's Omnic laborers, Claire sheltered in the very subway tunnels she was helping rebuild, hiding from the angry mobs of humans above. As Toronto healed from the crisis and sentiment towards Omnics changed, Claire sought employment with the city. When Mayor Sharon discovered Claire's aptitude for programming, engineering, and automation, she hired the Omnic on the spot. Today, Toronto boasts one of the largest and most effective automated transit systems in the world, and Claire Hopper is enormously proud to have been part of that achievement. Reggie Buckworth. Celebrity Encyclopedia entry, Reggie Buckworth. This article violates site writing guidelines and is set to unpublished until editor notes are addressed. Summary. Who hasn't heard of Reggie Buckworth, attorney at law? Editor. Please do not ask questions in these articles. Also, please see the punctuation policy. As a top-of-the-line Ultra 999 Omnica Corp litigation bot! Editor. This is not an existing Omnica Corp model. Reggie Buckworth, this person may not be significant enough to warrant their own article, was destined for greatness! See neutrality policy, text formatting policy. Was destined for greatness. One of the first Omnics to gain sentience, citation needed. Reggie traveled the world, citation needed. Relevance? Before returning to Toronto to create the first Omnic law firm, citation needed. Specializing in justice for the oppressed, see advertising policy, with a win rate of 99%, citation needed. Torontons, I believe the word is Torontonians, based on your IP address, you should know this. Trust Reg to handle their every legal need. See unsupported attribution policy, advertising policy, this is ridiculous. Controversies. Reggie Buckworth has never been involved in any controversies. Then why did you create this section? Oh. Zoomed out for some reason. Can't click things.
Winston, the mission in Gothenburg was a success. Null Sector forces in the region have been dealt a significant blow.
That's excellent news! But Null Sector won't be taken down so easily. This war is just getting started. I hope we find a way to save these Omnics.